Why does the romantic scenario of a hero saving a beauty always happen to me? Shaolei's quote: Zhang Tizui, the feng shui master from the north of the city, had a naturally gaunt face. To maintain an air of dignity, he deliberately grew a goatee. Stroking his beard with 2 fingers, he sighed, "Ah, what a pity. There's a thorny issue here. If your uncle Wu Daozi were present, given his formidable abilities, there might have been a solution. Why did he have to go wandering today, of all days? All the esteemed seniors of this city have been gathered here. What exactly is this unsolvable problem? Could it be that even with your years of experience, none of you can resolve it?" Shaolei shifted the topic, smiling at Elder Mo. The old man wore an awkward smile, and the others in the room seemed equally at a loss for words. Most of these people lacked any real mystical prowess. They relied solely on glib tongues to deceive the gullible and earn a living. At this point, it's worth mentioning that although Wu Daozi was a scoundrel, he did possess some genuine skills. However, his relationship with the other practitioners in the city was far from harmonious. How could it be harmonious? Each trade has its rules. Though everyone was just trying to make ends meet, their roles were clearly defined. You stick to your fortune telling, I'll focus on my physiognomy. You handle feng shui, I'll deal with exorcisms. No one trespassed into another's domain, maintaining a clear boundary. Otherwise, wouldn't they just be stealing each other's livelihoods? Someone like Wu Daozi, who dabbled in fortune-telling, feng shui, and even ghost-catching and exorcisms, basically anything for money, had thoroughly crossed the line. Over the years, he had poached countless clients, earning widespread resentment. Though his peers had schemed against him openly and covertly, Wu Daozi's cunning had kept him standing tall, even building a formidable reputation. While they loathed him, they couldn't deny his competence. Seeing the awkward expressions on their faces, Shaolei understood perfectly. The homeowner must have encountered some dire trouble, summoning all the city's renowned masters of the mystical arts, only to find them useless. That's why they turned to Wu Daozi, that old rogue. There's probably no good intention behind this either. Well, the oldest among them, Elder Mo, who presumably had the thickest skin as an old swindler, was the first to speak. Shaolei, is your uncle really not in the city? What should we do now? The master of this house invited us here, but since we couldn't solve the problem, they've detained us. They won't let us go until the issue is resolved. Shaolei immediately put on an indignant expression and shouted, "How outrageous! How can they force people like this? Quiet, quiet," Zhang Tizui whispered urgently, forcing a bitter smile. The Tian family is wealthy and powerful, and, well, their influence is terrifying. We lone wanderers can't afford to provoke them. Hearing this, Shaolei's expression shifted slightly. The Tian family. You mean that Tian family? Which other Tian family could it be? In this area, who else would act so tyrannically? They said if we failed to resolve this, we might all end up buried with them. Shaolei fell silent. He was well aware of the Tian family's ruthlessness. The Tian clan was both wealthy and influential, controlling several listed companies, and rumored to have ties to overseas underworld organizations. Even the leaders of the city's major gangs would bow and scrape before the Tian family patriarch. If the Tian family wanted to kill a few wandering charlatans, wouldn't it be as easy as crushing ants? As he pondered this, the door swung open, and 4 men in black entered, followed by a gruff voice demanding, "Which one of you is Master Wu Daozi's disciple?" Footsteps hurried in, and a burly middle-aged man strode in, his face etched with urgency. Tall and imposing, he wore an expensive dark suit that likely cost tens of thousands. Having spent years with the old swindler, Shaolei had learned to read people well. He appeared quite dignified, the very picture of what the ancients would call a man of imposing stature. Yet his furrowed brow clearly indicated some pressing concern. Shaolei, unhurried, first adjusted his appearance before slowly rising to his feet, offering a composed smile as he spoke gently. "I am Shaolei, a disciple under Master Zhuge's tutelage. Greetings, sir." His performance drew admiring glances from all present. After all, weren't these seasoned veterans who danced on the edge of a blade their whole lives? In the art of deception these days, presentation was paramount. Packaging mattered. With his calm smile, unflustered demeanor, and an air of dignified confidence, Xiao truly embodied the bearing of a master's disciple. And then there was his attire. Well, today, tasked with minding the irresponsible old charlatan shop, Xiao had deliberately donned a traditional Tang-style outfit. After all, could he possibly read fortunes clad in a school uniform and Nike sneakers, combined with his striking good looks and an aura of refined elegance? The overall impression was one of profound wisdom, befitting an enlightened master. The middle-aged man's gaze immediately locked onto him. The moment their eyes met, Xiao felt a slight stir within. This man's piercing yet restrained gaze revealed no trace of hostility, a clear sign of cultivated composure. "Oh, so it's you?" The man was initially taken aback by Xiao's youth, but after sizing him up, a hint of reluctant approval flickered in his eyes. He thought, those with extraordinary abilities must bear extraordinary appearances. Though young, this lad seems to have some substance. Let's hope he's not just a pretty face. With a subtle glance at his entourage, the 4 attendants stepped aside from the doorway. The man smiled faintly and said, "Young master, if you please. A mishap has occurred in my household, and I seek your assistance in resolving it. Shall we discuss this outside?" Xiao returned the smile without demur and strode out ahead. Behind him, the local swindlers exchanged a mix of complex glances, some gleeful, harboring long-standing envy toward Wu Daozi's lineage, others hopeful, wishing Xiao could truly solve the problem and secure their release. Exiting the room, they passed through a magnificent hall and entered a side chamber. The 4 attendants closed the door behind them. The middle-aged man gestured for Xiao to sit with his eyes, then sighed, revealing the worry between his brows as he said quietly, "May I ask how I should address you, young master?" Xiao's eyes flickered as he smiled and replied, "A disciple under Zhuge, divine calculations. Mr. Tian may simply call me Xiao." The middle-aged man seemed indifferent as he said solemnly, "Mr. Xiao, my name is Tian Zhen, and I hold some reputation in the circles. I presume you've heard of our Tian family. To be frank, the incident in my household is rather bizarre, which is why I invited various mystical experts here. Unfortunately," his tone turned somewhat cold, "unfortunately, these so-called experts have greatly disappointed me." Xiao remained silent, listening quietly as he continued. "This matter is quite unusual. So," Tian Zhen's voice grew stern, "no matter what, you must absolutely not speak of it to outsiders." Xiao tensed inwardly, but immediately responded, "But what about those people outside?" Tian Zhen's eyebrows rose sharply, exuding an intimidating aura as he said coldly, "They wouldn't dare speak a word of it." Though uneasy inside, Xiao kept his composure and said calmly, "What exactly is troubling Mr. Tian so much?" Tian Zhen sighed, his expression darkening as he spoke slowly. "It's my daughter." After a pause, he added, "Never mind. Come with me, and you'll understand at once." With that, he gestured toward a side door nearby, inviting Xiao to follow. Xiao followed Tian Zhen through the door. As soon as he pushed it open, he was hit by an icy aura so profound and chilling that it seemed to overwhelm all his senses at once. It felt like being plunged into freezing water in winter, a cold that penetrated to the bone, chilling him so thoroughly that even his heart seemed to tremble with the cold. Such sinister energy. Xiao couldn't help exclaiming in shock.